What if a quiet afternoon in a small neighborhood turned into the most terrifying day of your life? What if help was nowhere in sight, and the only way to survive was to stay calm, think fast, and play a dangerous game you never asked to join? And what if, against all odds, you turned the nightmare around and brought down something far darker than anyone ever imagined? Let's break it down. It was supposed to be a simple, carefree day. Kara Robinson had stayed overnight at her best friend Jess's house. With Jess's parents out of town, the girls planned to spend the day at the lake, soaking up the sun without a worry in the world.
Lake's gonna be so good today. Yeah. Don't worry about Amber. She likes you better. No, she doesn't.
Before leaving, Kara called her mother, Deborah, to let her know she would be home around 10 o'clock that night. Jess went upstairs to shower, asking Kara to water the plants in the garden. It was a quiet suburban street, the kind where nothing bad ever seems to happen, until the black car appeared. The man who stepped out looked ordinary, polite even. He asked Kara if her parents were home. She explained that this wasn't her house. It belonged to her friend, and no one was home. That answer sealed her fate. He smiled, handed her some books, and then revealed the gun tucked beneath them. Without giving her a chance to scream, he ordered her into his car. Inside was a large plastic container, the kind used for storage, waiting for her. Kara had no choice but to climb in. The man sealed the lid and drove away, leaving the quiet street behind, as if nothing had happened. Back at the house, Jess emerges from the bathroom and notices the front door is wide open. Kara is nowhere to be found. The worry among Kara's loved ones intensifies. Deborah rushes to Jess's house and promptly contacts the police for assistance. But when the officer arrives, he dismisses her concerns, suggesting that Kara is probably out with friends. But Deborah is certain something is wrong. She knows Kara would never disappear without a word. She pleads with the officer to take the matter seriously. Meanwhile, Kara is driven to an isolated house located in the middle of nowhere.
Sit up. I'm gonna take off all your restraints. And I might take the gag out if you promise not to scream, yell.
The man lays out his strict rules for her. She must address him as Daddy and seek his permission to speak or move. He warns her that he will be holding a gun at all times. Then the true horror unfolds. He forces her onto the bed and assaults her. Afterward, he makes her sit with him and engage in conversation as if nothing horrific had occurred. Kara refuses to show fear. She remains aware, calculating her next move. She understands that panicking will not lead to her survival, so she meticulously observes her surroundings, taking mental notes of everything. She begins asking him questions, feigning curiosity to keep him talking. He again says that he won't kill her as long as she sticks to his rules, but he warns that if she tries to escape or tells anyone about him, he'll make sure her life is destroyed. He threatens her, stating that if she reports him, society will only see her as the girl who was raped. That's how he cruelly said it. Later, he turns on the television to watch the news. Nothing about her. He laughs mockingly, saying it seems like no one is even looking for her. Kara remains silent, recognizing his attempt to demoralize her, but she knows better than to believe him.
It's sad. I'm gonna let you go, and no one cares.
Then it's time for bed. He ties her to the mattress, ensuring she can't move during the night, and sleeps beside her. Kara lies there, barely breathing, silently praying for morning, for a mistake on his part, for any chance to escape. But even in this moment of terror, she's memorizing every detail: the layout of the house, his prescriptions, the animals in the house, his threats, and his behavioral patterns. She refuses to see herself as a victim. She's preparing for a fight to survive. Kara awakens early in the morning. The man is still asleep. Carefully and quietly, she frees herself from the ropes binding her. She tiptoes to the door, opens it silently, and bolts outside. She runs down the road, barefoot, frantic, and desperate for freedom. A car approaches, driven by two men. Kara throws herself toward them, pleading for help. They allow her into the car and drive directly to the nearest police station. At the station, Officer Rowland greets her. Kara is exhausted and trembling, but remarkably clear-headed. She recounts every detail of her ordeal, what happened, where she was held, and what the house looked like. Kara accompanies officers on a drive through the neighborhood. Initially, the houses all look similar. Then she recognizes it. The house with covered windows, the familiar layout, the bird cages inside. A local worker corroborates her description, confirming he's seen the man she describes. Police storm the house, and he is gone. But they found all the details Kara had said after paying close attention while being kidnapped. While Kara sits at the station beside her mother, the tension is heavy in the air. Deborah clutches her daughter's hand, but Kara is distant, focused, still working. Bonnie, an investigator, brings out a stack of photos, all the men who live in that neighborhood. Kara doesn't hesitate. She scans the sheet for a few seconds, then points. That's him. His name is Richard.
That's the man that is leasing the apartment that you were in. His name is Richard Mark Ivanitz.
The man who tied her up, who made her call him Daddy, who locked her in a box and thought she'd never get out. She doesn't just recognize his face, she knows where he hides things, who his doctor is.
The doctor's name is Dr. Reitz, and the phone number for that is 803-555-6714. He's got a history of anxiety.
The prescriptions in his house, the box next to the animal cage that he slammed shut when he caught her looking. Bonnie is stunned by how much Kara remembers. Back at the house, the police search the box Kara described. Inside, they find dozens of pairs of women's underwear, none of it hers. Alongside them, clippings from newspapers and headlines about missing girls. He kept trophies. He kept their stories. Kara's quick thinking helped reveal a serial predator. The police dig deeper. They find articles about 3 missing girls whose cases were never solved. Each girl disappeared in a similar pattern. The horror becomes real, the kind of monster they're dealing with. And now, thanks to Kara, they might finally catch him. Investigators reach out to Richard's wife and sister. The wife is in disbelief and said she can't imagine he's capable of this. The sister admits he called her recently. He's still nearby.
Mark contacted me yesterday afternoon.
They trace his location through his phone. The police set up a perimeter near the identified area. Richard appears, and they surround him swiftly, before anyone can move.
Suspect is armed, requesting backup. Drop it! It's over! Drop your weapon!
He pulls out a gun and shoots himself. It's over, but not in the way Kara had hoped. Kara finds out later. No one told her immediately. She's angry. She wanted to face him, wanted him to see her survive. Jim, the lead officer, comes to see her. He says she's the bravest girl he's ever met. Kara asks him not to tell her family the full details of what Richard did. She doesn't want to traumatize them further. Jim agrees to honor her wishes. Deborah apologizes to Kara, promising to stop pressing her for answers. Kara reassures her that they must focus on moving forward. They cannot change what happened. She is alive, and that's what truly matters. In time, Kara channels her experience into a purpose. She becomes an investigator, dedicating her life to helping girls who have faced similar horrors. She transforms her trauma into a mission. She escaped, but more importantly, she ensured that Richard could never harm anyone again. Did Kara get justice, or did Richard rob her of it by taking his own life? Let us know in the comments.